Hello, welcome back to my stream. My name is Yan Chi. I am a software engineer. I was doing Android for 15 years, and now I'm like tapping my toes into generative AI things. And today I am going to continue my. Can anyone hear me actually? Okay, I can hear something, so this thing should be working. So let's continue where we left off last time. So last time we were working on this. So backgrounds. As you can probably tell, my live stream is quite boring because I'm boring, and I want something that can kind of make this less boring in a sense. So, how do I make this font bigger? Um, so what I think, so like that's why I set out to like do say ah okay. So uh, so that's why I want to create like a companion thing that eventually will like be on somewhere here on the video feed that like how should I say um, that will appear somewhere here and basically watch what I'm doing and either ask me question or comment about it or like say like what are you doing you dummy or something like that. Of course I'll keep it G-rated, but in order to do that I looked up some sample on Gemini. So this is Google's AI Studio. So basically you go to so like this AI Studio thing. The first is using chat, so you can use these models as chat completions, and you talk to it like you would talking to ChatGPT and stuff. It's quite useful, and you can choose all these different Gemini models. Um, but today we're not going to use this. We're using something in this build tab that builds web apps using Gemini. And if you've been to my last few live streams, you probably would know that I was working on this screen reading chatterbot because this is actually what Google demoed during Google I/O, where this thing listens to background audio and then try to do something. In the past few sections, we've already made this into a screen reader. So when, say, we start the session and then share the screen, uh, you will probably hear it say something. So now I can share, say, my entire screen and then ask, like, what do you see on the screen?
I see a code editor
And
with
if
various
things
files open.
work, then well, let me listen to it.
I can hear the audio from your microphone.
I can't hear anything.
I can hear you speaking now.
But I assume, like, because the I do see the audio monitoring, so. So now I can share, say, my entire screen, and then ask, like, what do you see on the screen?
I see a code editor with various files.
Well, so I just checked on my monitoring stream. Yeah, it does have some audio out. I just don't know why it's not coming out on my actual output device. Let's see. How do I do something? So here, anyway, it works. So let's ignore that for the minute. And let's go back to the to-dos. So last time we made some decision that, well, I made some decision because none of you were there. And the decision was basically this will be a web-based project and it will be written in TypeScript. Although my background is in Android and I spent last 18 months in Python, TypeScript is not my forte. I have no clue how it works, nor do I know pretty much any web development thing. So, whoa, sorry. What just happened? Oh, my Wacom pen tool somehow. One day, I will stream my drawing session. One day. But right now I'm streaming coding, and I haven't played Genshin for a while, so maybe I should also stream that when 5.7 comes out, but not right now. So back to the our project here. It's actually called Streaming Companion, but right now the project we're using is called Screen Reading Chatterbot, which is fine. So last time we were trying to get it to act more actively on like changes on screen, but we tried to use prompt engineering. Didn't work, unfortunately, and we talked to ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude last time, and they all suggested, okay, let's run some frame diffing, so that we can say, for example, give a threshold, say 2 or 5% of the screen changed. Let's send a new frame to the completion endpoint. Because last time we checked, like for the the Gemini Live API that is connected through WebSocket, you can just periodically feed feed a frame of your video or audio or both, and then the model will use that frame, and then the subsequent audio or text to then provide feedback. So there's this dual model mode that is basically oops. So what does this dual mode mean? It means one web socket always connected live API, and then another one is actually on demand image recognition call when things change, so we can provide more context to live API. So basically that's what I think we want to do. Now let's go back to, say, for example, today is the 17th. Oh my god. 2025 is like halfway through. I haven't even get used to writing 2025 when I sign and date. Okay, so like, let's see. Let's try to dig up some more notes. I believe I still have some conversation with Gemini last time. So blah blah blah. I attached the whole folder over and then have it and asked it to do something about it. So here, so in the web version of Gemini, you can use something called Canvas, and then it will create like certain files that you can go through. Instead of like they all like come in line in the chat, this is a better organization. This first appeared in Claude, and then OpenAI copied it, and then finally Google copied it, and so yeah. So we want to look at Screen Analyzer here. So this is the thing with Screen Analyzer. And what I think I'll do is I'll stop the preview because we don't need it right now. And then what I think, so here is the Screen Analyzer that maybe I copied it over. Yeah, probably. One thing that this thing is not that good at is I don't know how to go back to an earlier version once you reload it. So we'll have to do what we gotta do. So now back to like say the file list. Do we have the context manager? The context manager? We don't. So let me add one more file. Here. Context manager .ts or tsx. tsx. What's the difference between TS and TSX? Beats me. Where did that file go? Let's move it under lib. Okay, so here's the context manager .ts. Copy content. Okay, back to here. Screen Analyzer should also just be a TS file, right? Yes. So rename to TS. I actually don't know what TSX means. Maybe I should ask. What's the difference between TS and TSX in a web project? I'm a noob, so maybe I should have asked 2.5 Flash, but Pro works too. What is a JSX? JavaScript XML syntax. Huh. So I guess when you have a UI thingy that you want to do JSX, you do TSX. Fine, I learned something. Hope I don't forget it tomorrow. Okay, what is the code error? Uncut what? Okay, well, so back to here, we copied Screen Analyzer and Context Manager. Now, instead of like copying what it did to instead of copying this, what I want to do is, well, before doing that, I'll save it. So now I have the Context Manager and Screen Analyzer code in, so I don't lose it when I hit like reload or something. Now, so I say I added context manager lib context manager.ts and lib screen analyzer.ts, which should help with analyzing video frames. And what does Context Manager do anyways? I actually don't know. You know what? 10 seconds is good. So we have Context Manager that that uses screen analysis and should comment on analysis. What is wrong again? The uncut again? We'll fix it later. So now we have that. Maybe the thing is not complete yet, so let's ask Gemini here to make some changes first. Use memo hook, send frame. So what's the actual change? And decide when should we send the frame via the via Gemini Live API. Can you integrate this into use live API.ts. So it sends frames and asks for commentary from the API when significant portion of the screen changes. Here is a attempt in such modification. Feel free to take hints from it. So let's let it think and see what changes does it do. But one of the things that I observed on these is that the thinking step for Gemini tends to like be in the past tense that says, oh, I've done this, done that, done blah. But when you have like say Canvas or even the code completion, or you can also observe this in Joule, which is Google's agent, that it after it said all these, it forgets to actually make the changes sometimes. And that has been annoying because that renders Joule to be this not really useful kind of assistant or agent, like autonomous coding agent. But whatever. So it's still thinking. So I finalized implementation. Where? I don't see any code changes yet. So eventually it will wake up and start modifying it. But what else can we do while it's doing this? Let's see. So maybe I should ask it here in the other Gemini. Where does the call to, well, let's see. What did I say here? I gave it a description of that whole thing and brainstorm blah. Okay, it gave something. Then so this is what we copied over from Claude, I think. To a second instance of call to Gemini flash model to do video frame analysis. Happen in use live API.ts. Again, I have no clue about TypeScript, so I needed to tell me where things happen. So const analysis. So here is the send analyze screen analyze frame. Okay, that does the base64. And then so here it's sending text. Where did the send frame go? Because I think we do need to send the frame using Live API. And this context message, where does it come from? Last analysis. So screen analysis. Something. I actually want some other things, but okay. Okay, so don't we need to include the image? We call client.send text context message. When context manager dot should comment on analysis is true, or that, or the video frame goes in later on a later send. Do we have another send here? Send frame true, send frame. Send frame. I don't understand, but I'll let it explain. Now, what changed with if? It changed the prompt, it changed the screen analysis, changed something else. So back to here. Well, okay, so this Gemini is saying that it will only send the activity it detected on the screen as text to the Live API. But if that's the case, not including image, when we will lose the ability for the model to keep track of the screen content in its own interpretation, right? Because like if you just like instead of sending the frame and your analysis, you just send analysis, that wouldn't that increase like the hallucination dramatically? Okay, I won't argue it there, but let's go back to here and see what's going on here. So what's the change here? Okay, Google Gen AI, removed blah. Okay. 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 Okay, so the prompt changed. Use Live API. Why are you stripping away the comments? Fine. I'm not reading the code anyways. Okay. Record them. Okay. Yeah, true. Why? Audio stream left. Why is that one removed? To be honest, I have no clue what that's doing, but we should watch out here. Okay. Okay. Analyze and send frame context. So, okay. So we're diffing. And then if it's larger, then say yes. Wait. Mm-hmm. You know what? Let me copy this because I feel I will need it. This should go into somewhere. Should analyze plus should comment. Maybe. Okay, some more changes, some more changes. Okay, and what about prompts? Okay. So now let's reload. Okay.
Hello, I'm the screen reader bot. I can describe what's on your screen. Please start screen sharing for me to begin.
share my screen.
I am not able to see your screen at the moment. Please make sure screen sharing is enabled.
Okay, so I mean, well, I was basically looking at the logs here, and it seems like the frame analysis works in a way that, like, say it says like change detected 5%, 5.08%, and the analysis result come back with that. But as you can probably, well, you probably didn't hear anything. Well, I didn't hear anything because like somehow the audio is not coming out from to my headphones. But this talking head wasn't saying anything either. If you notice that, so back to the same issue, that is when we send things over, it's not triggering anything. So thank you, Creative Cloud. I'm not using it right now. So I think I read somewhere we need to make the live API respond to different things. Let's see. Okay. This doesn't work. So let's come back here and then say, for example, I'll copy this whole thing. Copy. And then here is the logs. Now for my suspicion, is that we didn't specify the live API to respond to text modality. Can you search the web and read Gemini Live API to see if it mentioned anything about it? So my thinking is, like, we need to actually specify the modality, but this sample probably only specified audio. And so maybe what did it change? Did it actually check? Let's see. Show thinking. So where do we specify the input modality? I can't use my browser nor my eyes. Actually, what did I paste? Configuration. Oh. So Keynote. Wait, what? That's the place? Keynote here. Close that. Okay. Should it be just text or I don't need both, right? But let's see, response. Live connect config. Well, well. Well, set config live connect config. Where does live connect config go? Here, live connect config. Real-time input config. Real-time input config. Real-time input config. Proactivity. What is this? Oh, okay. Probably should set this to true. But there's no such thing. Thank you for your hallucination, Gemini. Thank you for, I don't know. Huh? Okay. The prompts. What changed? these. Okay. So it's basically telling me to update the prompt so that when it sees something, it should say something. But like, okay, where is the prompts.ts here? There's context blah blah blah. Use this blah blah. Control voice on screen blah 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 blah. How do I do multi-line in? I guess you can't, or can. There's screen sharing. Is this valid?
Hello, I'm the screen reader bot. I can describe what's on your screen. Please start screen sharing for me to begin.
What are you seeing on screen?
I'm sorry, I can't see your screen right now. Please make sure screen sharing is active.
Nope, it still doesn't respond. Yeah, whatever, I'll just do it. So in here, where we send frame or send context, here, the context is send, oops, client dot send
I understand. I cannot see your screen because screen sharing is not active. Please start screen sharing for me to begin describing the content.
Of course. See, it's too dangerous for me to write code alone. I'll stop. Back to Gemini. So here, what did it say?
Hello, I'm the screen reader bot. I can describe what's on your screen. Please start screen sharing for me to begin. The screen shows OBS Studio managing a live stream setup titled Live Programming under the Software and Game Development category.
Saying something.
In the background, a preview window shows a simple animated character. A Chrome browser window is also open, showing Google Gemini with a question about the Gen AI Live Client.Send Real-Time Input API. The screen shows a conversation with Google Gemini. The user has asked about the Gemini Live API, specifically the Gen AI Live Client.Send Real-Time Input method for sending video and image frames. Gemini is responding with an explanation of the API's use of a WebSocket connection and streaming input for real-time multimodal data. The screen shows the LeetCode website displaying the problem titled 103 Binary Tree Zigzag Level Order Traversal. The screen is split into sections, showing the problem description, the user's previous submission stats, the problem title, a code editor in Python, and test cases. The screen shows the welcome page of the Google Cloud Console.
Something. Let me try to fix my audio so I can hear what it's saying. But I think from the meter on screen, I feel it's saying a lot. So the change I made is here. So after it sends context message, then I ask it like any comments, and then actually have it turn complete to true so that it will respond to me. But the next question is, will that actually affect the, how should I say, will it actually affect my verbal input, basically? So here we just saw there's a config thingy, so we should say proactive, true. Is it? I saw something that is related to this. So proactivity. And true is lowercase? No? So what is a proactivity config? Proactivity config contains what? Proactive audio? Okay. True? Yes? False? I guess. Reload. Now, what's going on with my audio though? Sound setting. Yeah, output is my thingy. Input is that. And input is that. Maybe I should open the mixer or something? Volume mixer. System sound. Edge. Wait. Oh. YouTube.
Hello and welcome to the Kubernetes podcast from Google. I'm your host.
And I'm Mofi Raman.
I indeed cannot hear anything. Did my thing got turned off? Let's see. I have my DAC, which is on. It's in USB. Yeah, it's not fiber.
At Google Cloud Next, Abdel sat down with Nick Eberts, a product manager at Google, and John Lee, a software engineer at Google, to talk about Multi-Cluster Orchestrator, or MCO, a new open-source tool announced at KubeCon EU 2025.
Okay.
MCO addresses the need for
don't know what's
managing
going on with
workloads
my
across multiple
audio,
Kubernetes
so,
clusters.
But I think we got something working today. I just can't hear it. But let's think about what is actually going on. So anyway, I think what we did was okay. So I'm going to tell Gemini that this alone does not help. I had to do one more call, client.send text. Any comment on the changes? To trigger actual response. Anyway, I'll let it try to like talk me out of what I just did. But since this kind of works, I'm saving it. And let's go back to our notes. So here, yes, we got Shift X, not Control X. So we got this dual mode thingy working. I still think I should do this. So not there, but here. And so I'm sharing my second screen, which
I do not see your screen sharing active at the moment. Please enable screen sharing for me to describe the content. I can now see your
has
screen.
some other things on it.
The current content is a discussion about Gemini's Live API, focusing on its latency, pricing, and use for object detection. It compares it to other APIs like Vertex AI Vision and Cloud Video Intelligence. Now I see your screen is changed. It shows OBS Studio with some dropped or skipped frames, along with Visual Studio Code.
Do you think
Apology.
you're talking too much, screen reader?
I am trying to provide a concise description of what's on your screen. I can focus on specific elements if you'd like.
Okay.
Currently, your screen shows OBS Studio with dropped frames, Visual Studio Code with programming code, and a Gemini interface with a question about the Gemini Live API.
I have no clue what it's saying, but good enough. So let's go back to our notes here. What I think should be the to-do for next time is test, fix audio output and test how often should we be sending things, asking for comments, because I think it was talking a lot, and I don't know, we'll have to tune it, I guess, and there will also have to be some other things that is we'll do some more analysis, for example, once that thing is actually watching us or me coding, how should it decide because right now this prompt here, this any comments from the change prompt is quite distracting in a sense. I didn't really hear what the model said, but I would assume it will just be continuously blurbering about, oh, you see blah 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 blah, right? But this prompt should really be more focused and more we should make the prompt more productive. Say, for example, compared to the previous frame, or looking back, what have you observed and what did you see that warrants a comment? If not, don't respond, or something like that. So it's not just actually continuously reading the screen, but more it's thinking about, okay, what is actually interesting and things like that. So maybe there are more enhancements I need to do is to session add goal or focus, so the the bot can be more focused on figuring out the right things to read on screen and react accordingly. So that will be for next time. But hey, I mean, at least after how many sessions? 1, 2, 3, 4. After 4 sessions, that thing is talking back, even though we're faking the input from time to time. But hey, I'm better than nothing. So on that note, I think I'll end earlier today. It's 3 minutes to 3 p.m. But yeah, I've been working on another project for quite a long time, so maybe I should demo it later, but yeah, I'll demo it later, but for now, thank you for tuning in. My name is Yan-Chi. Thank you for watching. Next time we will probably test first to see what is how chatty the thing actually is, and then we'll then probably do some prompt adjustments before we go into actually creating the UI. So for the UI, I'm thinking something like Ukagaka or like reuse some of it. But there's another thing that I'm writing on another project. Maybe I should reuse that instead. We'll see. But until next time, thank you for like watching.